Yes, so this is AECO Education Pathways. For those who do not know the company yet, we are a consulting firm operating mainly in student placement in universities all around the world, in countries such as Canada, France, Germany, and many other ones, and the USA is among them. So today we are with our partner, Rowan University. I am here with MaryJoe, who will then give insights on everything that you need to know and need to do when it comes to applying to Rowan University, whether it's for an undergraduate or postgraduate program. So I will leave the floor to her. After that, we'll have a quick Q&A session from the questions coming from the people who registered online. And as well, we'll open the floor in such a way for those who are there so they can directly ask their questions. If you are shy, you can still type your questions in the chat directly there. So thank you, and over to you, MaryJoe.
Thank you very much. I welcome everybody. My name is MaryJoe, and I'm here to talk about Rowan University. I represent Rowan University in Africa. I'm based in Nigeria. I'll be sharing my screen. After then, we'll now have question and answer section. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
We can see your screen, MaryJoe.
All right, thank you very much. All right. So these are our in-country reps, and we have in India and Middle East. Then you can see me there. Um, then Rowan University, we are located in Glasgow, New Jersey, and we have a safe campus just 20 minutes from Philadelphia, 2 hours from New York, and 3 hours from Washington, D.C. In Rowan, we offer a perfect blend of a safe and welcoming campus. Um, vibrant community for our students. We offer exciting career opportunities and the charm of some of America's most historic cities. Learning Center. This is where students learn through virtual reality. And then we'll have a fossil park and a museum. We'll have a planetarium that get to farm, and then the proceeding. Some of our top programs and biomedical sciences, we have business programs, we have computer science, we have cybersecurity, we have data science, humanities, engineering programs, mathematics, pharmaceutical sciences, psychology. Then this is our enrollment profile. We have over 24,500 students across our campus, where 16,000 are undergraduate students, 3,000 plus are graduate students, 90% international retention rate. What it
Hi,
means
MaryJoe.
that
Hi, can you hear me?
90% of students
Hi, MaryJoe.
who start from Rowan, they graduate in Rowan, because in US,
MaryJoe, please, I don't know if you can hear me,
you
but I don't know if you're
tend
still stuck on the
to
slide
see
with
a
the.
lot of transfers. So we have gotten up to 90% international retention rate in Rowan. And
Can anyone hear me? I think that MaryJoe had some network issue. If it's the case, she'll be reconnecting now. So let's just give her 1 minute, please.
sorry, I think I had a network issue. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, MaryJoe. You can continue.
All right, so I'll have to continue sharing. Please let me know where was the last slide you.
Let me just. The slide was still on the page where you presented your team members, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right, okay. So we'll start afresh. Okay, so these are the team members, and then talk about the location. Like I said, Rowan University is located in Glassboro, New Jersey. And Rowan will offer itself 800 Acre Park Life campus, just 20 minutes from Philadelphia, 2 hours from New York City, 3 hours from Washington, D.C. And then in Rowan, we'll offer the perfect blend of a self-welcoming campus and a vibrant community to our students. They tend to experience cultural diversity and exciting career opportunity and the charm of some of America's most historic cities. These are some of the unique highlights about Rowan. First, we'll have a Dreamscape Learning Center, where students learn through virtual reality. We'll have a fossil park and a museum. We also have a planetarium. We'll have the West Campus Farm. Then these are some of the top programs that we offer in Rowan: arts, biological and biomedical sciences, business programs, computer sciences, cybersecurity, data science, education engineering programs, humanities, mathematics, pharmaceutical programs, psychology, public relations. Then this is our enrollment profile. In Rowan, we'll have over 24,500 students across our campus, in which 16,000 plus are undergraduates. We have 3,000 plus graduate students. We have 90% international retention rate. What it means is that 90% of international students that start with Rowan, they graduate in Rowan. It means that they find Rowan interesting and satisfactory, because in US, you tend to experience, most schools experience transfer, students tend to transfer from one school to another. But in Rowan, we have been able to have a 90% international retention rate. Also, 63 countries are represented in Rowan, from Asia and Africa. We have Nigeria, Ghana, we have Tanzania, we'll have South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Uganda. We'll have different students from all over the world. Then we'll have 5% international population enrolled, and we'll have average class size of 20. Then our rankings, we are 92 top public universities. We are 6th fastest growing public research institution. We are 169 among all national universities, and we are 114 best value for education. Then for you to be an international student, you would require a non-migrant visa, which is F1 or J1 visa. And then we'll offer fall and spring, which is August and January of every year. Then these are the steps and requirements. For undergraduates, you submit your application, you pay application fee of $45, upload documents, and then you could receive your decision 1 to 4 weeks, $100 enrollment deposits, and then you get your I-20 in 3 to 5 business days. Then the requirements for undergraduate program will require 2.25 GPA for most programs. Then for engineering programs, we require 3.2 GPA. Then your unofficial high school transcript. English language proficiency test is optional, but for Cameroon students, the students who are in Cameroon, are going to school in Cameroon, would require an English test. And then, but we are SAT and ACT optional. Then for graduate students, the same requirements, submitting your application online, application fee of $65, upload document, decision gotten in 1 to 4 weeks, then enrollment deposit of $250, and 1 to 21 I-20 application gotten in 5 days. For the requirements, most programs require minimum GPA of 3.0 for most programs, but some programs could require 2.8, 2.9. Then your college transcript, your degree certificate, your recommendation letters, 2 recommendation letters for master's programs, 3 recommendation letters for PhD programs, then statement of professional objectives. Like I said, English language proficiency is optional, but for some countries in Africa, which Cameroon is one of them, would require an English language proficiency test. Then GRE GMAT is optional for most programs. Then these are the language policies. For 50 for PTE, 60 for IELTS, 70 for TOEFL, and 110 for Duolingo. For tuition, for undergraduate program, $28,250. For the graduate program, $20,350. Then for the scholarship and aid, we offer our undergraduate program 90,000 scholarship up to 19,000, and it's basically merit, and there is no separate application for it. You get your scholarship when you apply and when the application has been reviewed. So based on your GPA, you could get from 4,000 to 19,000, depending on your GPA. For graduate students, there is no merit scholarship, but for graduate students could apply for masters in research, or those that are applying for PhD programs, they could get a full funded through graduate assistantship or research assistantship. For students who are in IB schools, you could also transfer your grades from IB to Rowan and not start as a freshman, depending on the number of credits you have accumulated in your IB program. Then for deadline, so application for August is already ended. Application for January 2027 will be open by end of July. Then in row 1, we'll have 12 plus housing options students can choose from. We'll have over 200 organizations and 18 intramural and sports clubs students can choose from. These are some of the international programs, international clubs that cater for the needs of the international students. You can see the African Student Association, the International Student Advisors. You can see different groups there that you could be part of when you come on campus. Then for career opportunities, before graduation, students can gain career experience through on-campus jobs, which is you can work up to 20 hours a week, or off-campus internship approved through curricular practical training. Then after graduation, as an international student, you have different ways to get experience, career experience. First is if you are going for a STEM program, or if you have done a STEM program, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics programs, you get to stay up to 36 months for optional practical training.
He said, he didn't say I am a way.
Then,
If Jesus
for
had said I am a way, that means there are other ways.
sorry, can you mute your mic? Whose mic is on? Then for students who are going for non-STEM programs or who have gone for non-STEM programs, they can stay up to 12 months to get career experience. Then students can also decide they want to go straight to master's after their BSc, or for master students, they want to go straight to PhD, depending on whatever you want. And then long-term employment, if you can get a H-1B work visa sponsorship. These are what some of our students are saying from different places. India, you can see Nigeria, you can see Vietnam, you can see Afghanistan. Thank you very much. This is our social media platforms where you can learn all about Rowan. You have your Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, you have your TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat. This various social media platform is where you can learn all about Rowan, see for yourself what other students are talking about Rowan University, and make your decisions. Thank you very much, and I'll be glad to entertain your questions.
Okay, thank you very much, MaryJoe, for your time and your explanations on everything that concerns Rowan University. As we wait for the current participants to maybe unmute themselves, you are welcome to do so, or write the questions in the group chat. I will go through the questions people actually wrote online. So let me see. So someone is concerned about the visa approval rate, especially since Donald Trump is in power in the USA.
Okay. So basically for visa approval, one thing I tell students is to make sure that you prepare well. First of all, US welcome students, but what they are looking for are genuine students who are coming to really go to school. So as a student, if you are applying for a school in the US, what you should look out for is who is your sponsor. Then if you are 27 and you are going for undergraduate, it doesn't tally. Why? What have you been doing? If you are 40 years, you are going for your master's, what have you been doing? Then if you claim your uncle, your auntie is your sponsor, how are they your sponsor? What are they doing? How come an auntie or an uncle is agreeing to send you to school? So these are the things that are being looked out for when you're applying for your visa. These are the things the visa consulars look out for. So they see a lot of students that come. Yes, you want to go to school, but they look at who is your sponsor. They are seeing auntie, a distant uncle. Then they ask, what have you been doing? You could not really explain. They ask you, why did you choose the program? You didn't do any proper search. So because it's an interview, anyone going for a US interview should know that it's just like a job interview. You should be real, first of all. You should be truthful, and then you should prepare well, because they want to know, are you able to pay your school fees for the 4 years? Can you comfortably pay the school fees? They don't want someone coming over and then person is struggling. And then right now they are doing a social media vetting. So everybody should be careful what they post online. If you are posting normal things, your pictures about yourself, it's not a problem. But the thing is, the scrutiny is much, but people still get visa approved. But it requires planning, it requires preparation, and then it requires especially financial preparation.
Okay, thank you very much. Another person is concerned about the number of people or rate of people coming from Africa, maybe Cameroon in general or Nigeria, who are actually enrolling on a yearly basis at Rowan University.
Okay, so we'll have students, like I said, we'll have students from Africa. We'll have, on a yearly basis, we could have up to 20, 30 students from Africa.
Okay. That's reassuring for the people that might think that they will just get
No,
somewhere and yes, be
we'll
the
have a lot
person.
of African students in Rowan. We'll have.
Okay, thank you. Another person asked if they can move with a spouse while applying to Rowan University.
It is not advisable for a US visa application to
Yes.
apply with a dependent as a student. It is not advisable at all.
Okay, and another question from the form is, how does Rowan University help financially students if maybe the school can design specific payment plans, for example, or maybe grants for certain people, depending on their situation?
So like I said, we'll offer scholarships to undergraduates, up to 19,000 scholarship. Then for payment plan, there is payment plan. You have 5 installments to pay in a year. Then I said for grants or for fully funded scholarship, is strictly for those who really qualify for it, especially those who are going for research programs, master's research programs, PhD research program. There is no fully funded for undergraduate programs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that answers the question from the person in the chat as well, who asked you to explain about the master's fully funded scholarship. So I hope, Precious, you got your answer. If there's any other question,
Okay.
you are free
So
to.
let me, if you are looking for fully funded scholarship as a master's student, then you have to apply for research programs. And for you to get it, you should have been doing work under that particular department. Let's assume you want to apply to biomedical sciences. You have been doing a lot of work, paperwork, research work under biomedical sciences. You have written papers on it, because these are the things you are going to be submitting, and then you're also going to be having interviews with the faculties of that department. So it is not just that they're going to give you fully funded without you doing any work. So when people talk about fully funded, everybody wants fully funded, but some persons are not ready for the fully funded scholarship. So fully funded are not for everybody. It's for the few people who are prepared for it, who are ready for it, because it's only through research programs that you can get fully funded scholarship.
Yes, exactly. Is there any other question that we can take before we wrap up the session? Currently, I'm typing in the chat numbers you can join directly on WhatsApp. So one for Cameroon and one for Nigeria, because some Nigerian people have specific questions that only someone from Nigeria can actually have answers to. So somebody asked, How much are students expected to pay to get their I-20?
Okay, for undergraduate it's $100. For postgraduate it's $250.
Okay.
Someone is raising his hand.
Yes, Ben, you can unmute yourself and go ahead with your question.
Good evening to everybody. Hi, MaryJoe. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you.
I'm Pen from AECO. I'm so happy to be in this training session. I have a couple of questions. I don't know if I should go one after the other or I should just ask all the questions, but pretty much you mentioned about the English language proficiency, and I saw that there are possibilities for IELTS or Duolingo. Now,
Yeah.
firstly, is there any other flexibility in terms of language proficiency requirements? Because in Cameroon, for example, a student can be able to have an English language proficiency from his or her university, affirming that he or she has had maybe 3 years of university education in English. Then for students who maybe want to go directly into bachelor's programs, it's possible for them to have an English language proficiency documentation from the Cameroon GCE board here. So is that any possibility as well for the language requirements, or the candidate has to write IELTS or Duolingo? And does Rowan also probably have a language center where they support students to meet these proficiency requirements?
Yeah, we'll have an English language center. Yeah, because these language policies are based country by country. So there is really no for Cameroon, we don't accept the school English language proficiency, all that. It should be either IELTS or Duolingo or PTE or TOEFL, or also Rowan English Learning Center.
All right, second question. For the score, I saw you did mention band 6.0. Is it the overall band score required, or the candidate must have 6.0 in all subsections?
The overall 6.0.
All right, all right. Now, secondly, my question is with regards to maybe visa prep. I stand to be corrected. I know that with the US, in some cases, students do attend a visa interview compared to countries like maybe Canada that maybe do their visa their visa evaluation based on documentation. Does your university, or is there any department or possibility where candidates can be able to have mock interview trainings? Is that an opportunity that you do offer, or is it a responsibility of your partners like us?
No, okay, so I do the mock interviews for students who are preparing to research. So it's what we do to prepare students ahead.
All right, awesome. Next question. I do understand, and we do know that with the US, we have visa approval challenges, like you did mention. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean that there are no exceptions. Now, one of the aspects that struck my interest during your presentation was the STEM related programs, which has, I mean, a lot of possibilities for students who want to either advance their studies or explore other pathway opportunities in the US. Are there any particular programs you would maybe advise a student to focus on that can probably increase the visa approval uh, rate or percentage of that particular student? Maybe if students go in for some part, maybe there's a keen attention based on the US need for a particular course. I don't know if that could count in terms of a good visa approval rate.
No, program does not count for the visa approval. The what counts for visa approval, like I mentioned, the very most important thing is the sponsorship. Then secondly
Okay.
is the ability of the students to communicate well. Why did you choose the program? Why did you choose the course? And defend it well. So the program the student choose is not, it doesn't really matter when it comes to the visa program, the visa, either rejecting or approval of the visa.
All right. My last question for now.
Yeah, no problem.
Who can actually sponsor a student? Must it be a first degree relative, maybe father or mother, or an uncle or a brother can actually sponsor a student? And is there any possibility for an affidavit of sponsorship? Maybe a student has a relative in the US. Can the relative send in an affidavit, or it must be a financial sponsorship?
That's a very good question. The best person to sponsor an undergraduate student is either the father or the mother.
Okay.
Then the worst person to sponsor that can make the visa to be rejected is someone from the US.
Why is that, if I may ask?
Yes, because it really says a lot. Why, if you're having someone in US and saying the person is going to sponsor you, most cases is not true. The people doesn't sponsor them. They just come and then they just help them to get a job and all that. So in most cases, the people in the US doesn't sponsor anyone. So it's based on experience. So then for a master's student, you can either sponsor yourself. Let's assume you've been working for a long number of years, let's say 10 years, and you've saved a lot of money. Let's say you are working in a very good company in Cameroon that pays you well. You sponsor yourself, your company can sponsor you, or you get a full funded or a partial funding. But the worst people to sponsor is someone from US, uncle or auntie. It's really, really, in 99%, they are rejected. Because you imagine it, which uncle, which auntie would sponsor someone for over $30-something thousand a year? So those are the things that they look out for or they reason. So, and when you tell students that, most of them doesn't really want to believe it. They just go ahead and they have uncles and aunties that they just get their bank statement, but it doesn't really work out like that.
Okay. Then for the tuition fee, I saw the amount, but I didn't see any installments. I don't know if there's going to be a follow-up documentation which you
Like I
send
said,
to us.
for installment, we'll have 5 installment plan a year. 5 installments, yeah.
All right. I think this will be it for now. Thank
you
you so
very
much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ben, for your questions. I think we all benefited from the questions you asked. Kizito is asking, one, what's the figure for living cost in the USA? I think you can go.
I think I can see all the questions. So first, the figure for living costs. So depending, the estimation for the living cost is between 15,000 to 17,000, depending. But living cost is basically estimation because it's estimated. Everything depends on how you use your money for the living cost. Yeah, especially if you're a master's student, you could get accommodation outside and then you manage your own feeding and all that. But for undergraduate program, undergraduate students, you stay in campus 2 years, first 2 years, then you can decide to go outside and get your own room. So living cost is between 15,000 to 17,000 estimation. Then can students work while studying? I said it, yes, students can work 20 hours per week while studying. But the work is not to pay your school fees. The work is not to pay your school fees. The money you get from working while studying cannot pay your school fees. It could do some other small things, let's say feeding, transportation, and all that, but it can't pay your school fees. What are the deposit figures for? For undergraduate deposits is $100. $100. For postgraduate program deposit, it is $250. Then kindly speak on the postgraduate work permit. I already said it. If you did a STEM program, you have a work permit to work up to 2-3 years in the US. But if you did a non-STEM program, you have 1 year to work. Or you could decide as a master's student, you want to go straight to PhD, or you could decide as a bachelor student, you want to go straight to master's program. So these are the various ways. But if you did a non-STEM program, you have 1 year to work in US. If you did a STEM program, you have 2 to 3 years to work in US legally before you can get a company that can sponsor you, then you can stay back in the US.
All right. Thank you for your precisions on all these questions. Since we've been there for some minutes now, if you have any other question, feel free to unmute yourself so you can ask directly your question or give a remark or anything concerning Rowan University or studying in the USA overall. Otherwise, this session is being recorded and will be on our YouTube channel, as well as this is currently live on TikTok as well. Okay, Ben has a question. How much is the proof of funds for the application?
So what should be in your bank statement? That's another thing, another important thing. You know, US is not like UK or even Canada, that okay, proof of funds should be up to the living costs. For undergraduate, we could say 52,000 should be. For postgraduate students, we say 42,000 should be in the proof of fund. But my advice to you is to have more than that on your proof of fund. Those are also one of the secrets of having visa approved, because if you are just having 1 year school fees on the proof of fund, what guarantees that you're going to be paying the second year and the third year? So what they are looking at for is people who have more than that on the proof of fund. So, but for the school to give you an I-20, you require 52,000 for undergraduates and 42,000 for postgraduates.
All right. I think we went around all the questions. If ever anybody has a question, I dropped current WhatsApp numbers, one for Cameroon, one for Nigeria, as these are the main countries people that registered and attended are from. So feel free to reach out to us on WhatsApp directly We will as well share the link to the recording of this session via mail and via WhatsApp as well. So thank you, MaryJoe, once again for this session. Thanks for
Thank you
everybody
very
who
much.
attended. And
Thank you very much.
thank you. We'll be in touch and hopefully send some students to Rowan University.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Bye, everyone.